In the world, there were a lot of traditional houses. Today's topic is Korean traditional house. Hanok. There were various types of hanok. First, I will tell you the feature of hanok. The materials of the hanok is nature friendly such as wood, soil, and straw. The second feature is hanok didn't use any nails. In place of nails, they fit the wood like this picture. The way that they assemble the wood is two. One is connection, and the other is fit. The connection is also said as joint methods. It is easy if you understand like a prefabricated house. Please follow the trail of this method. Third feature is the section is divided by the gender. During the Joseon dynasty, the religion of the state was Confucianism. Confucianism is a religion made by Confucius, but you can that as a notion. Anyway, one of the idea of Confucianism is distinction between the gender. So in Joseon dynasty, the section was divided by the gender. Women in Joseon did housework such as cooking, laundry, and sewing. So the women's section was close to the kitchen. However, men in Joseon usually met the visitors or do the politician things. Like this, women in Joseon usually do the housework, and the men in Joseon usually do the work at the outside. The last feature is there was a special underfloor heating system. This system is very unique and special, I'll tell you. If you see the kitchen, there are fireplace and there are big cauldron. Do you heard about that? Or do you know about that? I think you don't know about that. There are passages with the fire hole, and this is called as the underfloor heating system. When they making a fire, hot air goes through the passage, and while this process, it conducted to the floor and heating the floor. Third, then the heat moving to the air as radiation, and fourth, the air convected all over the room. This heating system is different from other countries like Western. In their country, people use fireplace than underfloor heating system. Our heating system is heating the floor, but the fireplace directly hit the air. Therefore, the lifestyle of people was different. If you see the Western country, people live on the bed, carpet, or chair. However, ancient Korean live on the bed, live on the floor, slept on the floor, or sit on the floor. In nowadays, people usually use the bed, but I mentioned the ancient Korea. And there are few people who slept in the floor and sit on the floor. And I'm the person who sat on the floor. Then, because of this heating system, the chimney was different also. In the Western country, the chimney is on the roof, their roof. But in Korea, the chimney is behind the house. That was because this underfloor heating system. It's very special, isn't it? The second topic is the type of the hanok. Let's see. I mentioned that there are various types of hanok. The first type of hanok is this house. This house is for the noblemen in Joseon dynasty. First, the materials of the hanok is wood, paper, and the clay. But where is the clay? I think you would be curious about it. Ta-da! The roof is made of the clay. It is called as kiwa. There were two types of kiwa, Tsukiwa, the male kiwa, Amkiwa, the female kiwa. The more expensive kiwa is blue, because the blue color is only can see when you dyed it, and if you dyed it, you need to dye stuff. If you go to the Changdeok-gun in Seoul City, you can see this blue kiwa house in the palace called Seonjeongjeon. And also there are blue kiwa house in Korea. Where it is? Yes, you're right. The Korean president's residence, the Blue House. Now this is the second house. This house is called 초가집 and is the house for commoners. The materials of the house is soil and straw and the paper. Also they use the wood. If you make the roof with straw, the insulation and the heat releaser vents was very good. But there was bad thing. This very vulnerable in fire, and if you make the roof with straw, you have to make it newly for a year. In other words, if the 1 year goes, you have to make the roof again. Now you hardly see this house because there was a policy that changed the roof into the Western style since 1971. So nowadays this house is more rare. So you can't see this house in the Hanok village. Wow, this house is more rare house. This house is called Noajip, and it is suitable for the people who live in the mountains. I'll tell you the reason. First, the materials of the hanok is wood, soil. The things that consisted the roof is called noa. The noa is the salt of kiwa. It usually made of wood or bluestone, not a clay. The noa is resting 10 to 20 years, but if it is old, you have to change for 2 or 3 years. It was also the kind of house that for the commoners. There was a gap between the doa, so it is very good for the ventilation and smoke ventilating. Also, the effect of the insulation was very big, so it is very suitable for the mountains people who live in the mountains. The last topic is tradition versus modern. The generation was changed. However, you can see this hanok in many variety of city. The first one is hanok interior. This hanok interior is can see in apartments. Many people use hanok in their interior, and it's very beautiful. The other thing is the modern hanok. You can see it in the Bukchon. Unlike the traditional hanok, there are glass window and many systems in modern. It's very convenient for the people, and also it's very beautiful. You can see it at the Bukchon city in Seoul. Now my video is over. Please enjoy my video and please visit Korean Hanok. Thank you very much.